Dear, you want me to stay with you or what?
Yeah.
Dear!
Yes, of course I want you to stay with me. You're like my second
Hi.
half. You're the second half of this video.
And what I have to tell now?
Hi guys, welcome to About Ukraine. We're so glad to see you on our channel. We're so glad that you're stopping by and you're interested in information about Ukraine.
Hi guys, welcome to our channel.
And you left me, yes? Okay. Yeah, so today's topic is banks. What do you know about banks? Nothing much, right? You just open an account and you're happy, everything is great, right? You don't like one bank, you go to the next one.
Yes, I think, but some banks are reliable in Ukraine, some banks are not reliable, so you have to trust some banks because you can have a problem then. So what we're gonna do? We have to analyze like every bank in Ukraine?
No. We're just gonna talk about some of the general stuff about what people should be aware of.
Okay.
So let's go. So we're located in the southern side of Kiev, and it's this campus of Taras Shevchenko University, I believe, and it's like one of the campuses, and it's a big one. And behind us we have these wonderful murals that are like carved out, maybe during the Soviet times. It looks pretty cool. It's my first time here, so I don't know much about this place.
It's my first time here too.
Yeah.
In this place.
So the first thing we're going to talk about is what is required to open a bank account for a foreigner. Well, the first thing is you're going to have your personal information with you, including your passport, your name, your phone number, your email, because banks want to call you from time to time. Most banks actually use these messenger apps like Viber and inform you, send you notifications about your transactions, that kind of stuff. So it's kind of useful. What else do you need?
Code?
Yeah, you need your code. It's a tax code, ID code, which you can get from the tax ministry, I believe. You can get it regardless of your status in Ukraine, and you get this tax code. It's tied to your passport. You also need to provide them with an address, obviously like your residence address. And maybe some banks require a propiska, which is a registration address, but not all of them require this. Obviously, they want to know where to send you information. Yeah, that's pretty much what you need, like these three things. And you can open up your bank account. The next thing we're going to talk about is fees. Stuff that I really hate. I really hate banking fees. Can't get rid of them. Huh?
Avoid it.
What?
Avoid it.
Avoid it? Can't avoid it. Every bank has banking fees. Canada and in the States, I know that many checking accounts, they charge you a $4 a month fee, like $3, $4 a month. If you have a certain amount in your account, a certain deposit amount, they will not charge you anything. But in Ukraine, depends on the account, really. You can have a premium bank account where you can charge you a fee every year, a certain amount, or they can charge you a fee when you open an account, they can charge you a fee when you close account. But these are like one-time fees mostly. The thing is, you always get charged when you do a transaction. Like if you want to take money out from the ATM, you have to pay like a few hryvnias, like 3 hryvnias maybe, yes. Or you have to send money to somebody else. They charge you maybe like a few hryvnias. They kind of nickel and dime you with these little charges. It's not much, but it's there. I know that in American Canadian accounts you don't have that. It's included with your account. You don't get additionally charged for these transactions, but I guess if you go over them, you get charged. But yeah, I just gotta be aware of all these little fees, right? I guess Irichka doesn't get any fees in her account, so she's so happy. Next thing we're gonna talk about is banking services. So much fun. Banking services are so much fun. And I'm gonna talk a little bit about checking accounts. Checking accounts don't exist in Ukraine, and you left me, yes? So in Ukraine, you use your bank account for regular things like paying bills, getting deposits in, transferring money in and out. But there's one difference between an American account and a Ukrainian account is that in Ukraine, checks don't really exist. You can't really send checks to anyone. You can't have e-checks. You don't really have this whole checking thing. So people don't use checks in Ukraine at all, which is going to be inconvenient if you're used to that. But on the flip side is that you can easily send money to people. You can track your expenses on the mobile apps. The mobile apps are great. I think much better than many other banks in other countries. And so I think the services are out there and they're pretty good. Okay, so we're gonna talk about two situations that many people find themselves in, many foreigners find themselves in when they come to Ukraine. So the first one is you are an American pensioner getting money in America, and it gets into your American bank account, and you want to live in Ukraine. So you come to Ukraine, and what do you do? What do you do? You have to open an account, a US dollar account, because that's the only way you're going to be able to put that money into your account, right? And chances are you're not going to be asked by the bank to provide where that money is coming from, because you can just show them your information. You're receiving your pension, you pay the taxes on it in America anyway, so it's not going to be a problem. But that's how you do it. You obviously are going to lose some money on the transfer fees, but that's really the easiest way to do it. And once this money is in your US account, you can transfer it to the hryvnia account, the Ukrainian account. So, second situation is, what do you do if you want to buy a house? And this is something that I'm going to have to deal with, because I have a Canadian account or a foreigner account, and let's say you want to bring a lot of money over. You have, let's say, $100,000 you want to bring over, and you want to buy a house, simply because, you know, in Ukraine transactions are performed in such a way that you need all your money up front, and you sign all the agreements and everything. So anyway, I'm not going to get into that, but how do you do that? I mean, well, I'll tell you how you do that. I mean, you have this $30,000 limit in Ukraine that I've heard about, and this $30,000 limit means that you likely won't have to provide extensive documentation about proof of funds. So as long as you're bringing in $30,000 into a Ukrainian account, it's okay. So what I've heard people do is they open like 4 different accounts in 4 different banks, and there are many banks in Ukraine, foreign banks, and they bring money into different accounts, and maybe they take some with them as well. Maybe like on the plane they take $10,000, and altogether they have a pretty hefty sum that is relatively easy to transfer into Ukraine. Again, you're going to pay transfer fees, wire transfer fees, but it's stable and it's reliable, and I've heard that it works for people, and banks are okay with that as well. And we have to go back. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what you should be aware of when withdrawing your money from the account. So basically, when you're withdrawing your money, you can only withdraw it in the Ukrainian currency, the hryvnia, and you will not be able to withdraw it in dollars. And if you want to withdraw it in dollars, you're going to have to go in person to a bank teller and actually withdraw it from there. And the last thing I want to say is that if you do want to pick out dollars from a Ukrainian account, you're going to have to purchase dollars. Again, it will cost you a little bit in conversion fees, but it's not much, and you know, in the end, you're going to get your dollars. The last thing, I guess, is you're going to ask is which bank is good. I would say you got to go for the foreign banks. For example, Raiffeisen, the Austrian bank, BNP Paribas has a Ukrsib bank locations in Ukraine. You also have Credit Agricole, which is another French bank. So you have these international banks that have been in Ukraine for a long time. And I would not recommend that you go for other popular Ukrainian banks such as Privatbank, Monobank, and Ощадbank. They have lots of locations. I mean, I know that Monobank is online only, but it's extremely popular. And the issue is these banks will not be able to serve all your needs simply because they are local based, and they really give foreigners a hard time. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you like and subscribe, and
Like and subscribe.